Right, guys, so Call of Duty's launched now, and oh wow, is it awesome, guys? Like, I've not had so much fun on day one of a Call of Duty for a while. I can't find the words. Now, some people are reporting bugs and things. I've not had any issues. I've had one crash. Like, that was literally before I even played my second game. It was after my first game. If you're on my live stream, you'll have seen it. But yeah, guys, it's insane. So we're going to take a look at the features that are in the game and things and just do a full review. But yeah, it's actually restored my faith in pre-ordering because if you think about Battlefield, Cyberpunk, pretty much any game that I've pre-ordered in the last like 2 years, it's just been a bit of a flop. But nah, this is great. So we're going to get into it. You're going to see some footage that I've captured from day one as well. And yeah, we'll just go through everything that's making the game what it is, really. So we're going to take a look at how the game plays out first. So, for me, I absolutely love this. What a lot of people are talking about at the minute is the fast time to kill. So, I'll address the elephant in the room first. A lot of pro players are sort of saying, oh, they've only done that to make it easier for people. Lower skill players prefer fast time to kills, blah, blah, blah. And like the top 5% of players are now talking down to the left, like the other 95%. And I'm like, I'm sorry, mate. The game's meant to be fun. Like, it's meant to be fun. So I don't care if it's giving the lower skill players an edge. Like, I'm like pretty average, but I love how it's feeling. So yeah, if you think that the game's not meant to be fun and you're meant to be taking like 7, 8 shots to kill someone, nah, take your opinion elsewhere. Like, the majority of us are just playing a game we enjoy. It's insane. Now, for me, like, the runaway gun at the minute is the Kastov 762. And that thing is an absolute beast at any range. The maneuverability of it kind of lacking. We're going to be covering the guns in more detail, like, in another video. But then as a caveat to that, the M4 is great for dealing with sightlines and also clearing rooms. The fast TTK means that, like, it plays well because you're not having to worry too much about being outclassed by snipers in mid range because you're able to deal with them. It's only long range where they have the edge. One thing I will say though is with ARs, like, you can use them like SMGs. So there is like high risk to using SMGs compared to other Call of Duties. But again, if you're playing aggressive with SMGs but not against aggressive people with assault rifles, then you still have the edge. Everything feels really well balanced. I like that TTK. So I'm looking at it now and thinking that actually they've got it spot on. Maybe things will change when things get nerfed and stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, it's actually really solid and really fun. I'll admit, a lot of people are camping, but you get that in Call of Duties anyway. And again, like, whilst that fast TTK means that if they like hit the first shot when you come through that door, you're in trouble. If you're pre-aiming, expecting someone to be in that corner that you're gonna see last, then you can deal with that. So, I personally do not feel like that's a huge issue. Other people might do, but I, for one, actually really like that. So I'm not having issues. I wonder what you guys are thinking. How are you finding the TTK in this game so far? Let me know in the comments. So guys, next we're going to take a look at the content available in the game. So let's have a look at the guns available. Now, these are my classes so far. Just all kind of works in progress, and it's really interesting how this works compared to other Call of Duties. So this bit might be a bit long-winded, but I hope you stick with me whilst we talk about this. So if you guys were watching like some of my content from the beta, you'll understand this new weapon system. So obviously I've got the M4 fully leveled, so I've then gone and unlocked these different weapons. Or not necessarily, I still haven't got the M16 or the FSS Hurricane. I do because I pre-ordered and the Vault unlocks them. So yeah, kind of a bit of an unfair comparison, but you guys would not have these if you had these two leveled up. But yeah, by unlocking the M4 to a certain level, you get the Icarus and the FTAC Recon. from the Attack Recon, the FSS Hurricane, and the M16, which is really cool. We are going to be doing a more in-depth video on its own. This is just a look at the content. You've got your creator class that works very similar in terms of building the weapon, but how you actually unlock the attachments is slightly different. So, for example, if I want the Merc foregrip, I have to unlock the TAC V or TAC 5 to the level 6. For the Op X9 foregrip, the EBR 14 to level 6. Operator foregrip PDSW to level 16. So it forces you to play around and use different styles of play and things. A lot of people are slagging this off. I think it's quite cool because it means that you can't just stick and use the same gun if you want to get the most from it. The tuning allows you to tweak slightly the features of the gun with the attachments. We are going to cover that more in depth in creator class video that I'm going to do. And it's definitely going to be a recurring feature in my Weapon Wednesday when that goes live. So the actual guns we've got a good range. We've got the M4, the TAC 56, Kastov 762, Lachmann 556, basically an AUG, an M16, a Kastov 74U, and a Kastov 545. Battle rifles, Lachmann 762, SO14, TAC 5, F-TAC Recon. We've got an MP7 or a Vel 46 in this. The 9mm variant of the AUG. We've got the Lachmann Sub MP5. Basically like the AK-74U. It's kind of interesting that this is an SMG whereas the 74U isn't. But maybe it's a different caliber. I've not looked into that yet. The FSS Hurricane, which you saw in the beta. We've got the mini-back. We all know what the mini-back's supposed to be. PDSW or PDW. And the Chris Vector or Fennec 45. Got a couple of different shotguns here. We've got the Lockwood 300, the Expedite 12, which we saw in the beta. The Bryson 800 and the Bryson 890, which is essentially just like a magazine-fed version with a shorter barrel. Again, that can be changed. I'm actually impressed by the LMGs in the game. We got the Sakin MG38. We've got the HCR 56, which is an LMG version of the AUG. 556 Icarus. The RAL MG. The RPK, which is obviously a decked out AK. And the RAF H, which was also in the beta. We've got a good couple of marksmans. EBR 14, SPR 208, Lockwood Mark II, LMS, SAB 50, and TAC M. Obviously, a lot of these are stemming from different variants of guns. The base sniper is the MCPR 300. Got the Signal 50, which was in the beta, the LAB 330, and the XPX 80. The only melee primary wise is the riot shield. I think though that these guns are honestly like going to be so integral. Well, obviously they're going to be integral, but there's so many playstyles that each gun will unlock. So handgun wise, we've got the P890, which is so far my favorite in most situations. It seems really solid as a secondary. The 50GS, we all know that that's going to be a beast. The X12 and the X13 Auto were in the beta. I've got that unlocked because of the side impact, which is my favourite for prisoner rescue. And the Basilisk, which is like a Smith & Wesson 500. Absolute unit of a gun. We've got 4 launchers. The Peeler, the Strela P, the Joker, and the RPG. And combat knife as a secondary, which I think's nice. Pretty standard here. Got the decoy grenade. I'm pretty sure that's the only thing that's different from Modern Warfare 2. Not sure if you could get a spotter scope as part of the class. Frag grenade, proxmine, drill charge, Molotov cocktail, Semtex, C4, claymore, thermite, and throwing knife are our lethals. So, not going to go into detail on the perk packages and stuff, but I will cover those in a moment. Field upgrades, we've got the tactical camera, the inflatable decoy, the DDoS, deployable cover, trophy system, dead silence, which in this game is going to be absolutely incredible. Not seen anyone at that level yet, though. Munitions box, loadout drop, which I'm curious what that benefit's going to be. Portable radar, tac insert, battle rage, recon drone, smoke drop, suppression mine, and anti-armor rounds. So really good for like having a range of abilities on the team and things. I do feel like a lot of these enable camping a little too much, but it's not a problem. So the perks that we've got available, if I just go on and edit, Overkill, Double Time, Battle Hardened, Scavenger, Bomb Squad, Tracker, Strong Arm, and Extra Tactical are our primary perks. For our, what do they call it again? Bonus perk, we've got Resupply, Spotter, Cold-Blooded, Fast Hands, Hardline, and Focus. These are great because they do massively enable different playstyles. So for our ultimate perk, we've got High Alert, which I find so useful, but I will be probably using Quick Fix more later. We got Ghost, Quick Fix, Overclock, Survivor, and Birdseye. You're familiar with all these. Survivor gives you the last stand ability, and Birdseye basically increases UAV usefulness and minimap. Everything else, I think in all these perks, I think Focus is new. Reduce flinch when aiming down sights and extend holding breath. Pretty sure everyone's familiar with the other perks. So that's it for like the weapon content. Killstreak wise, UAV, bomb drone, counter UAV, cluster mine, care package, precision airstrike, cruise missile, mortar strike, sentry gun, SAE, VTOL, Overwatch Helo, the Wheelson, stealth bomber, chopper gunner, emergency drop, gunship, advanced UAV, and of course the beast that is the Juggernaut. That's awesome. So we've only actually got 3 vehicles that we can customize in the game. We did also see boats and things. I don't know where the boats have gone from the beta, but all this was like available in the beta as well. So that's quite weird. So yeah, we've got, I don't think there's any new operators from the beta. I might be wrong, but we've got a good range of ops here for both sides. A lot of the characters aren't actually in the campaign or anything. They're kind of continuations from the Warzone and Modern Warfare 19 characters. But yeah, guys, that's actually it for the content that isn't the maps. But we're going to have a look at the maps in just one moment. So guys, we've got 10 maps in total on launch, which ain't terrible. We've got Albagra Fortress, which I think it's cool, but it's not my favourite map. We've got the Breenberg Hotel from the beta. Now, Crown Raceway is absolutely incredible for close quarters combat. Probably leans more into SMGs than any of the other maps in the game. But yeah, I really like the feel of it. El Aliso, I'm not a huge fan of. I definitely wouldn't think it's bad. But it's like the long sight lines you get on the edge are a bit tedious, but inside is so fun for CQB. Embassy, I think, is probably the most well-rounded map. Like, in the close quarters of the actual embassy building, SMGs and shotguns are absolutely incredible. Then you've got plenty of positions to peek from for people who want to snipe or use assault rifles from within the building. And all the area outside makes for a great mid-range skirmish for assault rifles. Farm 18 is returning from the beta, and so is Mercado Los Alamos. This is my favourite map so far, Santa Sena Border Crossing. It's really frustrating to play because of the amount of ordnance damage you can like receive, because the cars will also explode. So like early game, throw frags out and you're gonna like pick up a couple of cheap kills. Later game, it focuses on CQB, but there's also plenty of longer range sight lines. So it really allows you to play very aggressive with a lot of cover, but plenty of places to flank. We've got Tarak, which is very open. It's really interesting. When I first loaded in, I thought it was going to be incredible for SMGs, just based off like this image. But when you actually get to playing it, you're looking at a lot of mid-range to long-range firefights. I think it's a beautiful one. And Darkwa Hydroelectric is probably the coolest in terms of mobility because there's plenty of places to swim on it. It definitely changes how you view the game. Now, one thing that's interesting about all these maps to me is it seems to have moved away from that traditional 3-lane system that Call of Duty has had and challenges you to adapt your playstyle, to not just think about it in flanks and crossing over, but to think of the map as a big picture. The game modes that you'll be playing on this map, are quite interesting. You've got Team Deathmatch, Free For All, Domination, Search and Destroy, Headquarters, Kill Confirmed, and Hardpoint. Obviously, we're familiar with these modes from pretty much all recent Call of Duty titles, and the two new ones are Prisoner Rescue and Knockout. Both were debuted in the beta, so you should be somewhat familiar with that. Now, Prisoner Rescue is really cool because it forces you to play as a team. Knockout, because you're not hindered whilst carrying the bag, allows you to sort of lone wolf it. But I do find it absolutely incredible. Like, Prisoner Rescue is so fun as long as you've got a team that have their, like, stuff together. We also have Ground War. And invasion modes on. I'm not sure if I can show you the maps for those, but we've got... Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the bigger maps. I haven't actually played them since the game released, but I'm waiting until I've got a couple of battle rifle and marksman rifles to a higher level before I even attempt that. We've also got 3 cooperative missions. I'd like to assume more, because let's face it, they maybe take 20 minutes a piece. That's maybe an hour, and then you complete. Obviously, I will be going for completion on them, but that's different. And we also see third-person Mosh Pit returning, which will be great. So yeah, that's it for like the content in terms of game modes and maps. So yeah, I'll just leave you with my closing thoughts. So yeah, guys, this is, to be honest, probably the most fun Call of Duty I've played in a long time. I don't know, like, whether I quite like the grind, but the changes in the camo challenges are definitely nice. I am doing a separate video, so I've not really covered that. But they've simplified it, making it so much easier to get gold. I've seen so many YouTubers already hitting gold, and I am well on the way to getting there with my M4. I have 2 basic challenges to complete, and then the 4 for the completionist. So that's nice. But they put the grind into the weapons and the attachments as opposed to the camos, which I think is so much more rewarding, to be honest, and it forces you to play different styles. So obviously I've touched on that in the content bit, and I really do like that. Like, it means that the grind's not just for cosmetic things, but for tangible things. The introduction of tuning is going to be really interesting, and we're going to see how much of an effect it has when I start doing the Weapon Wednesdays from next week. So yeah, and the cool thing is, because I'm going to be constantly maxing out new guns and things, the Weapon Wednesdays might have to be changed for certain weapons that I've already covered at times. That said, it might just end up being a bit of a cosmetic thing because of how the tuning works. You can actually probably take one foregrip and turn it into another, not by looks, but by like stats and things because of how you can tune them. I find that absolutely awesome. There's plenty of content. The maps all feel unique. Like, it's one thing that I didn't like about the 3-lane system, because you were constantly sort of feeling like the maps were very similar. These all have their own unique feel, their own unique playstyle. Some reward SMGs more, some reward assault rifles and snipers and marksmen and battle rifles more. There are a ton of weapons in the game on day one, which is awesome. And yeah, like, that level 55 max level means that they could fit more in because of how they've done the gun unlock and stuff. So the grind doesn't feel all that grindy. Like, I'm already nearly halfway to the level cap from just playing in one day. So yeah, guys, this is actually awesome. It's completely new, and the direction to take it is awesome. So I'm like a huge lover, if I'm being honest. But how are you guys finding it? I've seen a lot of people complain about bugs. I've only had one crash, and I'm not seeing a lot of bugs. All I will say is some maps have like flaws that don't stop frags and things. I've blown myself up. I've flashbanged myself a couple of times on one of the maps. It was Farm 18. The like broken building, you can easily kill yourself in there because the like it seems like the upper floor doesn't seem to block it. But I don't know, like, other than that, it seems really solid, and these are only minor fixes. I'm very confident that they'll fix that soon, and I just love this. So guys, let me know how you're finding it. Let me know if you've enjoyed the footage, and I'll see you probably for the next week. I'm going to be churning out content, I'm going to be churning out streams, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But for now, game on.